hubris slash old age, just turning 31, called it SMBYEG 34 today to some people, so I apologize for that. It's just my mind losing it. So for those of you who have never done this before, this is what we're all about. We're here to build and grow Edmonton's social media community by providing opportunities for networking and education and promoting all levels of digital literacy in Edmonton's capital region. We, tongue-in-cheek, always say that we want to make Edmonton the Silicon Valley of social media, and I think that with great events like this and great buildings like this fine startup Edmonton, I think that we can do it. So, go team! Woo! So once again, SMBYEG number 33, your digital Toolbox, Spring Edition. So spring has sprung in our capital region. I don't know if you're at last one social media breakfast, but it was a chilly one. And then the social media breakfast before that, it was even chillier. So much that when I exhaled, my beard would get like icicles on it. I know some men in the crowd know what I'm talking about. Because it gets frozen, right? Some people who just wash their hair and then run outside, it freezes. You know what I'm talking about. You don't.
I don't.
Tammy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So you please elaborate. So once again about this, it's a place, social media breakfast is a place where anyone, new or old, someone who just picked up a smartphone and wants to learn how to use the Twitters, or log onto the face page, or the My Book, like, but that's the thing. My mom's like, how do I make a Twitter? How do I send a Twitter? I'm like, send a tweet? She's like, that too. So it's like for everybody. And people who are like, oh, I just made an account and I have a gajillion followers. Katie Perry. Anyways, you can learn, you can cultivate, and celebrate ideas. Our guest speakers and panelists are invited to share our personal and professional experiences. And then we'll also have an opportunity at the end to network. Because at Social Media Breakfast, my motto is there's no such things as strangers, just friends you haven't met yet. So I hope to make some of you and make friends afterwards. But this Social Media Breakfast wouldn't be a Social Media Breakfast, let alone a fun event, if it wasn't for our good sponsors. And this one's sponsors are the good folks at TEDx Edmonton. So why do you get Goran and Emerson to come up to say a few words? Are you guys prepared, if you want? They're just like, who? It's morning still. And they're going to talk exactly what TEDx is about, all the deets. And they also help nourish your bodies today with those fine baked goods and fruit and coffee. So we, the panelists, could nourish your mind. So let's give a big hand, everybody.
So this is Goran, and I'm Emerson, and I'm the chair of TEDx, and Goran's the marketing chair. And this is, I think, the third or fourth year of TEDx Edmonton. How many of you have been to TEDx Edmonton in the past? Okay, so actually a pretty decent amount. And this year, the theme is for certain uncertainty. So last year, we were looking at the future of, and this year it's about uncertainty around Edmonton, in part because the city's changing so much, specifically after the election of Don Iveson, and we're also looking at some wider technological changes that are taking place across the world. And just a quick brief of some of the speakers that we have. We have Suzanne West. She's coming down from Calgary, and she's one of the RBC Women of Influence of the Year. She, as a female business executive in Calgary, she sold $700 million worth of oil companies, and now she has one of the largest green energy trusts in Canada. And we also have a guy coming down from Toronto called Jackson Kahn, who's top 20 under 20 for Canada. And we have another 10 speakers across Edmonton that are going to be amazing. It's June 14th. It's at the Royal Alberta Museum. And we plan on this being one of the best TEDx Edmontons in recent history, and one that really engages everybody in the audience. And now Goran's going to talk a little bit about some of the, I guess, the marketing around the event.
All right, so the good news is we still have about 10 tickets we're going to promote. However, as of yesterday, we are completely sold out. So that's good news for marketing, bad news for some of you people. However, keep your eyes peeled on our Twitter accounts, our Tumblr, our website, and our Facebook pages, and you guys will find out when we're promoting the extra 10 tickets. And for marketing purposes, what we've done in the past, or what we're doing right now, we're working collaborating with different companies, including Lululemon, Blitz Conditioning, and we're actually going to make a goal session fit for 150 people down in the basement of Vacancy Hall on May 26th. It's only a $10 charge, and you guys can find us on thinktank.com. And it's essentially just sort of a way for TEDx Edmonton to incorporate the theme of uncertainty with other companies and bring people in and have leaders talk about goal setting for 5 years, 1 year, and 10-year sessions. And just from there, we'll be definitely trying to make a community out of it and work with everybody else. So, thank you.
And the last thing I'll say is that one way to be involved if you're not in attendance is through sponsorship. So we have 3 different levels of sponsorship. One is bronze, silver, and gold. And if you're interested afterwards, please come talk to me, because this is a chance to get your company across to thousands of really the most socially innovative Edmonton companies. And the sponsorship ranges from 500 to 3,000. And they're going quickly because we only have 1 gold and 5 silver. So if you're interested, definitely come chat with me afterwards. So thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. That's awesome. I love it when we have these great events like TEDx and they're like, yeah, we're so good, like we're ready, you should buy a tail, and they're sold out. There's still 5 or 2 bad. But it's, once again, follow on like their Facebook page, follow their Twitter, their Flickr, their Tumblr, Instagram, all the things. The goal setting sessions are actually really fun through Blitz and Lululemon. So May 26th, I think you said is the next one.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah.
$10. It's really good. They allow you to find out your goal, like tangible goals, not just like, oh, I wanna lose 50 pounds and get bathing suit ready. That was my old goal. But after the goal setting session, my goal now is to actually do push-ups without the assistance of my knees. And that was all thanks to the goal setting session. So stay tuned for that. Now I want to take a moment to recognize our SMBYEG farmers. Without these 3 awesome organizations, we wouldn't be half the event we are today. The good folks, Mike Spear and Genome Alberta, they've countlessly always backed us. Those days when we were in a corner and we couldn't find a food sponsor and we were worried that we were going to give you guys hot tap water and tea bags and Dad's cookies that were in my cupboard for 6 months. So they kicked in a few shekels and they allowed us to nourish your body. Startup Edmonton helped provide us this awesome space. Way back in the day, did anyone ever attend a social media breakfast at the CBC building? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A handful of us. It was a really great space, but we were literally busting at the seams. So we talked to the good folks at Startup Edmonton, Ken, Tiffany, and the gang, and they're like, hey, come over here, come play in our sandbox. So now we have this beautiful space, this lovely kind of meet and greet area outside, and it's just awesome. And then Evan Ednams from iCan Media, at Ednams on Twitter, he helps edit our audio and video, so if people couldn't make it because they were a little late on the draw. We're kind of a big deal too, so some people are like, oh, I think I was gonna go to social media breakfast. And then they look on the site and they're like, oh, it's sold out. Why is it always sold out? Well, I'll feed you, baby birds. It's always sold out when you try to buy tickets on a Thursday and the social media breakfast is on a Friday. So maybe like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter and then find out the details of our event sooner, and then you can be in one of these seats. And some people, the keeners, once again, should be in the front. And thank you all for being keeners. The Social Media Breakfast Committee is comprised of 5 fun-filled individuals. There's Evan, there's Jackie, there's me, there's Tammy, and there's Pete. Now, 3 of the 5 are here today. Jackie is off nerding it out at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. Understandable. It's kind of a giant nerd party. But we are dedicated. We shelved our full frontal nerdity, not nudity, for those people who misunderstood me and sometimes do. We shelved it. I'm like, I don't want to get my comic signed. I don't want to meet Matt Smith and Doctor Who. I want to engage with you people.
Right? That's why I'm here.
You people are bigger than any celebrity to me, and I appreciate it. So you should all sign something for me. So if you're ever famous, I'm like, I knew those people back in the day.
We can cry over Matt Smith together, Steve.
I would have left you a minute ago if I get to hate Matt Smith. So, good sponsors like TEDx Edmonton. If you or your organization wants to get into this awesome sponsorship ring, let us know. For the low price of $295, once again, you can help us nourish the bodies of our attendees while our awesome speakers and panelists nourish the minds. Because if you're hungry and you're listening to a panelist talk, or if you're hungry and you're trying to listen to a speaker, your comprehension just goes way down. If someone's all like, I used SEO to get more hits on my webpage, if you don't have any food in your stomach, this is how you respond. You're like, I don't care! I was promised dad's cookies and tap water with tea bags, and there's nothing here. I paid good money for this ticket. No, you didn't. It's free. No! I paid my time. So help us avoid that awkward situation by sponsoring a breakfast today. Contact SMBYEG@gmail.com or tweet us at SMBYEG. Now for a few housekeeping items. Should you need to powder your nose, or maybe make a numero uno or a numero dos, what you want to do is you want to go out those doors to where Peter is, take a right, follow this window, and then go straight past those kind of garage bay doors, whatever you want to call them. Directly straight ahead of you is the ladies' washroom, and then to the right, so yeah, it's right because I'm facing you guys. I was going to do it on my right, your left. Take a right, it's the gentleman's washroom. And there you can wash your hands, freshen up, do your thing, it's great. Also, at the end of the event, can you please remember to pick up your coffee cups and your plates and all that stuff, and then throw them out at your nearest waste receptacle outside. We love you guys, and we will clean up for you, but we all have jobs too, and if I'm like, sorry I'm late, I had to pick up someone's muffin wrapper, my boss is like, I want to see the muffin wrapper, so I have to actually put a muffin wrapper in my pocket, and it's awkward, kind of like this conversation. So once again, please remember to take your garbage and put it away in the basket. I should just trick or treat with a giant garbage bag maybe at the end of it, be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm so awake in the mornings. No, I'm so quirky too, so thank you for letting me speak to you guys every morning too. This has been a really cool opportunity, and I've been doing this since social media, like breakfast 3 or 4. So they've kept me since then, and haven't kicked me out. They haven't changed the lock since, so that's good. Etiquette. We encourage you guys to use all your wireless devices, all your Blackberries, your iPhones, your Androids, your Windows phones, anything like that. Surprise me. Take notes, share it, but with great power comes great responsibility. That's from a Spider-Man comic. We are giant nerds here at Social Media Breakfast. Just do us a favor, and don't be that guy or that girl. Put your phones on vibrate. Once again, I'm going to tell you guys this. Put your phones on vibrate. Is my phone on vibrate? I'm just going to check. Because vibrate. Yeah. You hear that? You hear that vibrate? Some people always try to do this, so we'll like be ready to drop knowledge bombs. One of our fine panelists will say something that's just so meaningful, but then it's getting distracted by like, hello? I'm on social media breakfast right now. No, I can't. Okay, I'll talk 1 minute. Okay, here we go. And then you're done, you're like, oh man, sorry about that. And then someone's like, like that's just very distracting. So, don't be that guy, that girl. And if you're dropping sweet tweets or Facebook posts, make sure that you use the hashtag SMBYEG by writing #SMBYEG before or after or in the middle of your tweet. And then people can follow us and we get trending, and then we're like, ooh, we were trending on Friday. What kind of a big deal? So now, without further ado, I bring to you your digital toolbox spring edition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to our fine panelists. And during this part, I'm actually going to talk a lot less because these people know a lot more, and they have some really awesome tools that they're going to share with you. So starting with me, I'm going to talk less, I promise. And now here's Steve. My name is Steven Hodges. I'm at Hedgehog on Twitter. To pay the bills and for fun and profit, I work at Sobeys right now as a communication specialist. I've been there for Ooh, it's gonna be 2 years in May. So, cheers for me. Before that, I was the marketing coordinator at 124th Street, had a contract with them, and I also helped build the social media presence for said Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, which now boasts followers in the 12,000s and likes as well too on Facebook. So I helped take it from a small pop culture party. I've since taken a hiatus to work on my own nerdy projects. I do a podcast with my friend Steve Osterlund called Geeks in a Pod, and we basically highlight geeks and nerds of all different types. So we talk to fit nerds, like you would normally associate nerds for fitness, but we do that. We also talk to a guy and his pal about how they took their love of science fiction, comic books, video games, and actually turned it into a viable business. They're cherry sauce, they sell t-shirts, and the last year at the Calgary Expo, they had profits of up to $10,000. So they took their passions and turned it into a business. So geeksinapod.com is that URL. And our next month's guest will be Jay Bardella at Happy Harbor Comics. So stay tuned. If you guys know people that are nerdy for any random things at all, come talk to me. I'd love to talk to you or them. So I'm Steve. Now on to Sally. Are you something about something?
I'm here, I'm paying
I'm growing tweets using the hashtag social SMBYEG. So what's up with this? Sally, please tell the crowd what you're all about.
My name is Sally, and I work. Should I take the microphone?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, thanks. I work the microphone. I work for AMA. I'm on their web services team. I'm a front-end developer and designer, and I am on Twitter at Sally Colson. I also, for fun, do filmmaking stuff. My husband Jeff and I used to run a website called The Edmontonian, and now we have another company called The Edmontonian Media Co., where we do shorts and stuff. And I'm very excited to be here. It's my first social media.
I love the Edmontonian. I was a huge fan.
Well, thank you.
Hi, I'm Lori. On Twitter, I'm Retro Lori. I write a blog called Retro Reporter. I dress 1940s style all the time, and so I'm a huge geek about that. And I will talk your ear off about 1940s and style and the whole meaning behind the 1940s style for ages, so don't let me. And then during the day, I also work for Alberta's NDP Opposition Caucus. Woo! As their communications assistant, doing largely social media.
I should have given you like orange and white pom-poms.
My name is Tammy Lee. I'm a senior web developer with TopDraw, ultra nerdy. I love Twitter, but my passion is Tumblr. Let's be honest here. I'll have a Tumblr tool for you later on there for anybody else out there who feels as strongly about Tumblr as I do. I also mentor with Ladies Learning Code with Sally there sometimes, and I've seen a couple of people who've attended our sessions in the audience. That's wonderful. I'm a huge advocate for women in STEM sciences and learning programming, because there's not as much math as you might think. I know that's what holds people up. Oh, the math, it's so hard. Yeah, not really. It's cool. There's computers for that.
That's what the computers do. Thank you all. So this is how it's going to work. There we go. We're going to have a variety of different slides outlining the tool's name, so social media tool, what platforms it's available on, the website you can find it or download it on, whether it's a paid or free app, and then some other pertaining notes, and then there's going to be a screenshot. It may or may not be Grumpy Cat. You're just going to have to wait and see. So happy in the morning. That's how I feel that some of you look at me when I'm all like awake, and you're just like,
Really, Steven?
really, Steven. First up, we have an RPG, and Tammy's going to talk about that little tool.
Yay. Hi, again. I'm a goal-oriented person. There's nothing that gets me revved up more than checking things off of a checklist. If I'm having like a bad day, my checklist might be, for example, go to the bathroom. Like anything that I can just check off that list, and every time I make a check mark, I'm like, wee, I feel so good about myself. I'm such a good person, right? It's great. I actually saw a great checklist the other day. It had clean the fridge, but every letter was a different line. So when you finished, you could check off like 20 things at once. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. I'm stealing it. Another thing I've stolen is this Habit RPG. This is the best thing in the world for people who love to make lists. If you have any sort of goals, it essentially gamifies achieving your goals. And you want to make little goals. It really encourages you to make little goals too, because every day that you do not check something off of your to-do list, it ages that thing. Right? So you take damage if you don't get your to-do list done. Like your dailies. Oh yeah, this is my screenshot. I'm a ninja with kitty ears. If I don't get my dailies done, like you see that one that's red, what does that one say? Is that one flossing? I'm really bad at that.
Bedtime sandwich.
Bedtime sandwich. Oh my god, I'm trying to get fit, right? I'm trying not to do that peanut butter and jam sandwich right before bed that I always like to have.
So did you check off that you had the bedtime sandwich?
I check it off I think that one's I check it off if I didn't have my bedtime
So
sandwich.
basically you've had a bedtime sandwich for every day since...
Yeah, it says like no bedtime sandwich, right? It's red. That means I've had a bedtime sandwich for like 4 days in a row. And the more that color changes, the more damage I take every night when I don't do it properly. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh no, I took a hit. Why? Oh, I ate a sandwich. That's why. You can also set up some negative check marks. So you'll see in that first column under habits, I have junk food. That's a negative one. If I eat that bag of chips and check it off, I take damage from that. And I'm like, but you gotta be honest, right? I did eat those chips. Bad Tammy. You can also, occasionally in your life, maybe there's either not anything going on or you're just really tired of checking in on your phone all the time and saying what you've done, micromanaging, or maybe you're just on vacation. You can go rest at an inn, and it kind of puts everything on hiatus for you, right? So I don't have like the full screenshots, but you just go to social, and then there's an innkeeper, and it's like, hey, weary traveler, would you like to rest for a while? And you say, yes, please. And then you won't take damage from your dailies every day if you don't do them. It's really nice. I've just come off of a 3-month resting at the inn, because that last quest was brutal, let me tell you guys. I needed to recover from that one. You can do quests, and you can join guilds, and you can start your own groups of people, so it's kind of fun. They recently had a quest for Easter, which was find the eggs, and all over their site they had little white eggs hidden, and you could click on them, and if you got them all, you win some sort of extra inventory prize. If you look in my little avatar there, you can see that there's a little red dragon next to me. You can collect pets. Come on! Who doesn't want to do that? So when you complete tasks, there's a chance that treasure is going to drop for you. And I'm a thief because thieves have special skills that can make more items drop, more money drop. I was originally a mage because I thought, magic, that's powerful, right? But no. I want stuff. So I switched to being a thief so I could get more stuff. And then they drop eggs and potions, and you can combine those. You get different kinds of pets, and then you can upgrade your pets with food, and then your pets become mounts, and then suddenly you're a ninja with kitty ears riding on that red dragon, which looks cool. I don't know, I'm easily amused. You can also buy weapon upgrades, you can buy new outfits. They'll have special themed outfits for the seasons show up that you can only get that year during that season, and then everybody looks at your icon and they're like, damn, I totally missed out on the birthday hat. Right? I know, I really like it. The one thing that's kind of a little bit of a pain about it is it's web-based, and you can only get full functionality on the web. If you use the mobile devices, it allows you to go through your checklists, like your habits, your dailies, your to-dos, and it allows you to check them off or add new ones from your mobile device, but you can't actually customize your character from your mobile device. And one other little thing, under the rewards column, I don't know if you can quite see it, but that very first one, that says FA. And if I happen to have 20 gold pieces, I can spend it, and then I can go for FA. And it's no longer me going 45 times last year. It's, I have to earn that, and then I pay some money, and then I can go for FA. And it costs me something, right? So it's not just like, I can just go anytime I want. It's like, no, Tammy, you have to earn those 20 gold pieces before you can have a treat. That's it.
Habit RPG.
Habit RPG.
Why, thank you. Any questions about Habit RPG? Seeing none, moving on to the next tool. Next tool, Banana Tag.
That's you.
Which is me. So, who here uses Gmail? All of you? Anybody here use Banana Tag?
I use Boomerang.
Boomerang. Banana Tag, Boomerang, same difference. What Banana Tag allows you to do is actually allows you to track emails with extensions for Gmail, Google Apps, and Microsoft Outlook. So, for example, if I had a social media breakfast committee email, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was actually reading it. It doesn't happen very much with social media breakfast because we have Viber. If you've heard of, you should have heard of Viber, the last social media toolbox session we had, but we're really good at open communication. But if you've ever worked on a board or committee where you have those like 1 or 2 people that never read any emails at all, and then you have your board meeting and you're like, well, we just sent this email, and they're like, oh, I didn't get this email. That didn't touch my email box. So with Banana Tag, you can actually track how many people have actually not only opened the email, but also clicked through it. So if I had an email being like, all right, can you please go visit the Habit RPG website and make your character? Or can you go click on that? I can see who's opened the email and also clicked on the links within it. So it's actually trackable. So if I send the email to 5 people and only 3 people click through, I can also see which 3 people clicked and which 2 people didn't. So then I can follow up and be like, hey, I'm creepy like that. I noticed you didn't open your email. Why? And they'd be like, oh, they didn't my junk mailbox. Or, you send really loud emails. So I can be like, okay, I can quiet down and I can tune it up. You can add it as an extension. What you do is you go to the Chrome App Store, just type in Banana Tag, and it just installs everything like that. So I like it, I enjoy it, and helps me keep my emails clear and concise. Right now I'm helping out with another geeky project. So I know that they're actually reading my emails and my input's being hopefully received well. And yeah, I just like to know when people are reading my emails, so this is why I have Banana Tag. Any questions?
Creeper.
Yes.
Do they know on the other end that you have this? Like, do they see that you're kind of tracking it? That they opened it?
I was going to say, with Boomerang, it adds a little a line to your email saying the sender of this email has asked to receive a receipt. If you do not wish to give them a receipt, click here. I don't know if Banana Tag does
No,
that.
it does not with Banana Tag. Oh. So they don't know I'm being creepy, I don't think.
Oh!
And yes.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate. What's the app to block that?
I don't know. Google Banana Tag blocker and let me know. And then I'll get the Banana Tag blocker and then I can use it.
It's a banana spiral.
It's a banana spiral.
Chrome app or Outlook?
I believe so. I use it just exclusively for my Gmail. Exactly. When you host a really big deal event like Bust a Move, you want to make sure that people are opening your email. So that's Banana Tag. I'm gonna get back to you on that one and see if people actually read it. I'm gonna look into that, and then I will drop a sweet tweet answer or follow it up in our recap blog. So those are good questions. So awesome. Pardon what? Oh.
I'm gonna block your mail.
I'm just gonna not use email anymore, and I'm gonna use carrier pigeon. So, Alfred.
That's me.
You?
That's me. Remind me to read every email you ever send me.
Dun dun.
Alfred is a tool for Mac that my friend Sarah, who is here, set me up with because I'm super disorganized. That's not why she set me up with it, but that's just a side fact. It's sort of a search engine for your local Mac machine, and you can use quick keys, which I think you can see there. You can set a quick key that will just pop it open in your desktop, and you can type in the name of the file you need, the image you need, the whatever that you need. You can also set it, I think it searches with you can search the web, you can search stuff on Amazon.com and sponsored stuff, whatever you're after. So it's really just a productivity tool to let you find what you're after more quickly, but I can't recommend it highly enough. I was a dubious user at first. I wasn't terribly interested in it, but no exaggeration, probably saves me 10 minutes of digging a day. And I think it's just at alfredapp.com. And then there's two versions. There's a premium version, which lets you, it's limited to how much stuff you can customize in terms of searching, but the $25 one that's the way to go. It's really, really good. And that's it for Alfred.
I use Alfred too.
Bam!
Just
Alfred
one more quick thing about Alfred. It's really helpful if you remember it's there. I have it on my Mac too. I think I used it for a week on Peter's recommendation, and now that you mentioned it, yeah, it's still there on my Mac. Gotta get into that habit. Habit RPG. Bringing it back around.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you know if it can search a server, like a local corporate server?
I'm gonna say like in terms of like a public server, you mean? Like if you're hooked up to like your local network?
Yeah. In an organization?
I think it works on our public server, doesn't it? Yeah. You might need the premium one though, so mine works, but I'm super legit, so I have the $25 one. Because I'm a baller like that. Any other questions? Okay, I'm good. Oh.
I got one. So do you use scripts as well? Because I know I've used Alfred, I have Alfred.
Yeah.
But you can also script it. And if you do script, what kind of scripts do you run?
I have not used it for scripts.
Okay.
But now that you've said that intrigues me. I'm wondering how I can pull it apart and make it do stuff. What kind of scripts do you use?
I don't. That's
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
what other people are using. If I could just borrow their scripts, that'd be awesome.
Let me look into that. I'll tweet at you, because now I'm intrigued. I didn't know that was an option.
I have an answer for the banana take question, but I'll go on.
Bring it on.
All right.
Oh, wait, there's one more, sorry.
No, please.
Go ahead.
So I have used all the tools before, and they were very slow when you have to see both your desktop or laptop and the internet. How fast is it?
It's really fast. I mean, you can choose what you're searching, right? So you can decide I'm searching the web. It doesn't search everything all at once, but it's faster than, what was the other one? I had another, I think it was called Quicksilver that I was using, and this is way faster than Quicksilver.
And you're with a Mac.
Yeah.
You find Spotlight, because Mac has this Spotlight.
I find it faster than Spotlight. Yeah. Anybody else?
If you Google scripts for Alfred, there's tons of them out there that do like pretty much anything.
Oh, we're gonna be doing some Googling.
Giddy up.
That's it.
Cool. So, I have an answer to the banana take questions. And I will actually post a link to this life hacker article in the blog as well too. So the life hacker article is called "How to Track the Emails You Send" (brackets) and avoid being tracked yourself. So this is how banana tag works. Think banana tag like iMessage or BBM for email. When you send someone a message, you can track to see if they read it and if they click the links you put inside. It's actually nothing new. Email marketers have been using the same tracking techniques for a long time to tell people how many people open their newsletters, click the links, and so on. So how does it work? Banana Tag embeds a small 1 pixel by 1 pixel transparent image in each email hosted on their servers. When you open the email, Banana Tag knows that unique image has been accessed and can tell the sender their email has been opened. Similarly, it turns links into short links that head back to its server so they know they're accessed, but keeping the original text of the link intact. So it basically allows you to track it, So using a service like Banana Tag could be also useful for a number of reasons, but also creepy to think that your friends can be tracking the emails they send very simply.
How do you block?
So, luckily, there's an easy way around it. If you get an email that asks you to display images, just reject your mail client's request to display them. Obviously, you can't do this for every email since some will have the pictures you want open. But if you get an email that makes no mention of images but asks you to display them, that's a hint that the sender may be using a service like Banana Tag. So, if you have that prompt that says always display messages from this person, just be like, it's from Steve, and he's a creeper, and I know that he's tracking my emails someday. And I'll be like, foiled again. So, there you go. Trello. Oh, Trello's so good. Tell us about Trello, Lori.
I'm so excited. Okay. I basically call Trello the love child of Evernote and Pinterest. Yeah, it's that good. So I think is this my wedding planning? I can't really see it. It's probably
web-based project manager.
Oh no, okay, so this is my wedding board. Yeah. I'm in the midst of planning a wedding, so there's gonna be lots of wedding related stuff, I'm sorry. So for example, Trello, there's like Pinterest, there's boards and then like your list, your cards are like your pins within that board. It's really great. I mean, there's labels, you can archive stuff, you can move it around really easily. There's checklists within the cards. I should really go with my notes because I'm just so excited that I'm like, rah!
Yay, notes.
Oh my god.
Side note, we as a social media breakfast community also use Trello, and it's great. It keeps our members accountable, especially the loud ones in the mornings that sometimes have very poor organizational skills. I'm a creative, and I know I can't speak about all creatives, but I'm not the most organized person. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna write a note. I use a notebook sometimes, but other times my to-do lists are like the first piece of scrap paper I see. And I'm like, to-do, and I write this down, and it's got pictures of like Ninja Turtles and trees on it and stuff like that, and that's my to-do list. So then it gets lost in the sea of other papers. So what Trello helps us do, as Lori grabs her notes, and it helps keep us organized. So we have an immediate and then to be announced, like for example, we have one for the breakfast. So we have book speaker, check. Book sponsor, check. Order food, order drinks, all that. So we have that list. We have who's accountable for said task. And then we can also follow up. And when somebody checks something off our Trello, we all get notified. So it's like, yay, we can cross it off our list. So back to you, Lori.
Yeah, I haven't used it in a group setting yet because people are just ignoring my requests. Mostly my fiance. And I'm like, but there's so many lists. He's like, no. So particularly for wedding planning, what I like is like my to-do lists are broken down by month, and I can move it around, and then there's their due dates, so it'll notify you when some things come due. I also use it for my work at the NDP. I have a whole board just dedicated to auditing, so every time I do an audit, I can go through and use that checklist without, I just keep it there and then reset it when I'm done, so it's always there every month when I'm doing one. And there is a premium version, but it's like you get stickers and backgrounds. It's more of a way to support Trello because you love it so much versus actual functionality. Well, I mean, if you love stickers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does it have a subtask for a task? Subtask?
Yeah, for sure. Like if like within your card, there's a checklist. So it's like, I might have the menu as a card, and then within that card I have a checklist for like the food that I'm ordering and stuff. And then it'll tell you if the checklist is complete. And there's also labels, so I color code it. Like green means done, yellow means I'm on it, red means I've been pushing it away.
So you've got your checklist on your card. You decide XYZ task now needs to be in your different card. Is it a drag and roll? Is that what you're saying? Or do you have to like take it out and put that task in a different card?
You can actually, when you make a new card, you can pull in checklists, comments, anything you want from other cards that you've already made.
Yep. In the back. Oh, okay. In front.
Just kidding.
So, like for instance, if one task can't be done without another task, I guess being completed beforehand. So, like you can't send the invites without buying the invites. If you adjust one time, does it adjust the other times automatically?
No, I think you would have to do that separately. But like, say you could just I'm
just
point.
no, finish. No, join.
Sorry, we're also polite.
We're a panel.
We used it. I'm glad that you picked this one because we used it at AMA to do our new website. So in a group setting, what you do, if you're interested in using it, I think it's a Kanban board, right? That's what it's based on. Yeah. So in software, if you guys know what agile software development is, it's basically a really transparent way of working where you can see where the blocks are. So kind of what you're saying, you can't do this till this gets done. If you look up Agile and Kanban, you would set one of them to be what's called benched. And then you'll be like, why isn't this done yet? And you'll look in your bench column and be like, oh damn, I didn't make the invitations, I gotta go. Yeah, so it's worth looking into for that. It's like for Agile and Kanban, and then that's the way for projects to implement them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear the question.
Is there a mobile app?
Sorry, what was that?
Does anyone want to develop Trello RPG?
That'd be awesome.
I'd be into that.
If Trello and Habit RPG like got together, had a few drinks, one thing led to another, and then out popped Trello RPG baby, I think that would be genius. Because then It just kind of lays everything out. One thing to talk about with the columns, though, too, is you can like visualize every column. Also, it's like a goal, and in the subsets, you can do like your objectives to obtain that goal. And then once that's off the list, you can use Trello however you or your organization wants to use Trello. So you can like a to-do, critical paths, and all that stuff. So it's
For sure. Like another board that I have is like all my shopping that needs to get done. So there's a Superstore list and there's a Costco board, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a tough question because I actually use Trello too. What's the most effective way of like organizing it?
I think it depends on the kind of person you are. I'm a very like structured, organized person, so I really like having, you know, the cards and then the sub checklists and stuff like that. But for other people, it might just be a good place to just kind of throw all their ideas and then.
In a group setting?
I do find it's really important to make sure that you break down your cards to be achievable. Like, don't have one card that says read your website. Have a card that says, you know, like have a whole column that's about your website, and then each card is broken down much smaller, achievable things, right? And then your little checklists inside are even more achievable, like break it down even further. In a group setting, what I really like about Trello is you can add other people on your board. So if you add a new task or a new checklist or something like that, you can be like, at Steve, make sure you get this done, bro, right? Like, it works really nice. It's just like, they use the Twitter convention of just at whatever the person's name is, and they'll get a little notification saying, hey, by the way, your Trello said you have to do this thing. And another point to that too is we actually use Trello on our phones as well. So I'll be sitting at the bus station, I'll also be like, ooh, I have 25 notifications on Trello. Whoa, what's happening? Go see what's going on there. It works really well in a group setting.
Okay. I was going to log into Trello, but I forgot my
Is there an import export option?
Good question.
I don't know.
I've never tried doing that.
Because right now our company uses Asana, but to try it out, like it would be a pain in the ass if we have to redo all the projects with all the tasks, right? So it would be cool if you can just integrate it.
Sure. I do not know.
Yeah, that's the question was whether or not you can import and export from Trello. I keep forgetting to repeat audience questions for the recording device. Yeah. I have no idea about that. Well, that's something you have to take a look at. And perhaps, if all else fails, there's always interns. Trello intern, we should move on.
I'll flag this and like can try to put it on the blog, but there's exporting data from Trello actually on the Trello help site. So you can export it under board menu, share, print, and export. The format is JSON, which lends itself to technical usages but doesn't load into common programs like Excel. Thus, the export is primarily for people looking to crush the data with programs of their own or just back up their data in case of emergency. You can also export all boards with business class, which I think is a tier, a paid subscription to Trello, or you can export data to Excel and spreadsheets as well too. So, huzzah! There's Trello. Now, who likes money? Everybody does. Well, Mint.com is a great way you can manage your money. Tammy?
I like we have all the same ones. Use mine too. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm kind of anal when it comes to my finances, and I have a lot of bank accounts and a lot of investments across different bank accounts because who's giving me the best deal this week? La la la, right? That sort of thing. And I also like to know where all my money comes from and where it goes. And Mint is beautiful for that. I've got every single bank account of mine hooked into there. I've got all my investments hooked into there. I log into one place. It just says, this is how much you have. And I get a warm, happy glow. Or I feel the cold winds of fate in one glance. Right? It kind of depends on if Hotbook had any sales that week. It's good across every device in the world, it seems like, except for like really maybe old things, right? So it's good on Macs, it's good on PCs, it's good on every mobile device, like Windows even, Windows Phone, what? Something's compatible with that? I don't even know, bro. So it's really good that way. It allows you to track individual sales and you kind of remember. So if you, for example, you go to, I don't know, use your bank card at a pho shop every week, and you tell it once that if I have something coming from here, it's going to be this restaurant or whatever. It'll remember that, and then next week, instead of just saying this is from noodle.tm blah 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 blah, like some sort of name that you can't really parse out what it's going to be, like, you know, when you go to your bank and you look at your Visa statements and you're like, well, who the heck is Charlie Brawson LLC? I don't know what that is. Mint translates those into their real English names, like into their business name for you. But if it's still kind of unclear to you as to what it's called, like maybe it's the deli downstairs and you just know it is the downstairs deli, you've never actually looked at the name that's above the door, which has happened to me before. Because somebody's like, oh, let's go to Nova for lunch. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a new place. You go there every day. Oh, that's that place. So you could actually just relabel that as downstairs deli, and it'll remember that for you every time. You can set financial goals on Mint, and I have to look at my notes for this because I didn't actually do that. My financial goals are much broader than what Mint can do. Ruling the world, there's no app for that. It's, for example, oh, that's another good thing it does too, actually. If you make a purchase with your ATM card and there's a fee involved, Mint will automatically split that out for you. So instead of just saying $102, it'll be like, what did I spend $102 on? It'll be like, no, you spent $100 at that bar, and $2 of that was a fee because you couldn't be bothered to go to your own bank. It also calculates your average spending based on historical spending. So if you have a budget of, say, $50 a month for Amazon, which, let's be realistic, $50, whatever, it will actually predict for you whether or not you're going to be short next month based on historical spending. So if you consistently blow past your $50 budget for that, maybe it'll be like, hey, bro, maybe you ought to adjust that because $50 ain't realistic for you. And Mint is free as well. And how can it be free? Because it's so amazing, right? It's free because it actually makes unbiased recommendations for you as to different credit cards or different financial services you can use. And if you decide to go with one of those, they get a kickback. Oh, okay. That's why. I've never actually used that, and they've still been really nice to me, so you don't have to click on any of their links if you don't want to. There's also a mobile app. And I think there's a mobile app. Yeah, there's a mobile app. Yeah. I've never used the mobile app. I usually just use it on the web. And then once a week, they send me a little email saying, this is how rich you are. And I'm like, what? And they'll be like, whoa, no, what took a hit? It's like a game, right? How did that account take a hit? Did I forget to fortify it? Was there a dragon? I don't know. And yeah, that's pretty much what I use Mint for. Next person.
Do you want to go next?
Do you guys want to talk about Mint?
I'm always broke. I'm probably the worst endorsement I'll ever have.
Well, I will talk about Mint. One thing that I really like about it as well is within your transaction, you can go and add tags to it. So like every time I go to Starbucks, I label that as a treat. Be like, oh yeah, it's just a treat. And then I see every month like, Laura, you treated yourself 20 times. That's not a treat, that's an addiction. You know, and you can also tag what's going to be reimbursed, you know, if it's a business expense that your boss is going to give you the money back for later, so you know. Yeah, you can label your transfers and stuff like that. And there's also, you know, pie charts and graphs, and it'll show you like how much you've spent on one thing this month that you've set your budget for, and you can go and look back and be like, compare, you know, this January to last January. It's really great. It'll also send you emails like, oh, you have a bill in 7 days. Like, make sure you have money in your account and stuff like that. Yeah, it sounds like a normal thing that people would know, but no one does. Anything to add?
No, not for me. It's good. You should use it, but don't use me as the endorsement.
Yeah. Have you guys tried to get your taxes from?
No. I use ufile.ca.
I use TurboTax.
I use my dad.
I think you get TurboTax for free.
Oh, that's actually.
I didn't know that.
Well, that was a good question from the audience, was whether or not we used our taxes with Mint.com. And apparently if you use TurboTax, it's free if you use it through Mint. So that's a little knowledge bomb.
2 weeks ago, I'm so upset.
That's a knowledge bomb. That's totally a knowledge bomb.
Somebody tweet that.
Yeah, like.
So maybe it's just because I'm old, but this kind of, you know, the saying is something street and you're the product.
Yeah.
So you putting all of your financial spending, money, accounts, information into an app, which is then owned and i.e. could be,
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm old too. The question was, I think, okay, to summarize, the question, if I understand correctly, is putting all your financial information in one place. You are the product. Your financial information is kind of available to certain people. Who is it available to? We don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm kind of paranoid too. However, I'm now at that point where I've been worn down, and I believe that unless you're completely offline, there's no way to hide anymore. I'm almost even to the point where I use my real name online. What? Oh, that's scary. Every time I see my real last name out there, I'm like, oh, yeah, uncomfortable. But I mean, something like this, it's reading stuff. You can't actually transact with anything. It's like a read-only of your finances. And if somebody really wants to know what my finances are, let them look. What are they going to gain from it, really? If it's just read-only, if they can't transact anything, I don't see, well, I'm not a social engineer. I'm sure there's some tricksy people out there who can see what the advantage would be. But for me, I'm just like, whatever, take a look. There's millions of people out there. If my finances interest you that much, then go for it. Yeah.
Just commenting this, so the first thing you got your phone as a first security measure. And Mint, I use it too, has also a setting where you can add an extra 4 digits in longer.
That's a really good point. You can add extra security to your Mint.
It's not the getting in, it's now they've got 1 million users worth of data information. That's what I mean. I'm talking about the bad thing developers.
I would actually, it's a good point, but for me, the reason I'm comfortable with it is because it's Intuit, right? So if Intuit's doing my taxes, I don't think they have altruistic uses for my information because I paid for it. If it was just like, Sally Co, let me see your bank account, then, and it's awesome that you're asking those questions because I do think that's how people wind up getting hacked online. But for me personally, it's Intuit because I do my taxes through them anyway.
Usually, my criteria is, well, how well known is the company? And then at the beginning, with Mint, I started with one account. Okay, then it's a serious company, okay, I trust them, second account. But certainly there's those questions. For example, with the hardly bot.
Oh yeah.
Is Mint secure or not?
I mean, anything.
That's always that.
I think you're just going to find that anything online is always going to be a risk. It's just whether or not you're comfortable with the risk. Next one.
Yeah, next one in just a second. I used Mint, and then I got really depressed at how red everything was. And then my fast food budget in this one chunk of time. Because before, when I started using Mint, I was really like a convenience eater. So it's like, fast food, $1 million, red. It's like, I see you're $6,000 over budget with your fast food. That's an exaggeration. But if you make any sort of changes on your online banking, so TD, ATB online, if you make any sort of password change or anything like that, Mint registers that and they actually ask you to reauthorize. So there's always, they always give you the opportunity, they're always asking for an authorization if you make any sort of changes and they notice that. So just another added level of security. It can be for you, it's not for everybody. If you're very anti-online stuff, then don't use Mint to use your bank. Use your spreadsheets and all that stuff, and keep your password secure. So next tool is for you mind mappers out there. It's Goggle.it. Anybody here use Goggle? No one. Who here mind maps? Anybody? Okay. So Goggle.it is a web-based app. You go to Goggle.it, you access it using your Google, and it allows you the tool to create different mind maps. So what you do is you start off in the middle here. That's your main branch, and then you can add branches. You can customize your font. So the one thing about this Goggle is you can only use it text-based, but you can change all the colors of the branches. You can make different headers, larger or smaller. And how I use it is just basically just to help get my thoughts out of this big, complicated
sexy brain of mine onto a page or onto a screen. Once again, I'm a very visual guy. I like to draw doodles. I like to use scrap paper as my to-do list. So if I have a project, for example, we have an event coming up that you should all stay tuned for the announcement for. I was going to do a video of it, but it was raining. But stay tuned, because it's about a field trip. You guys like field trips? You all should like field trips. So stay tuned. Plug. So basically what I do is I have an event, and then I can just branch everything out there. And every sort of idea, I can blue sky think, I can be like, I want magic school buses. I want this. I want that. So I can throw magic school buses on and costs and all that stuff. So another one, too, is really good is MindNode. It's a free application that you can actually install. And it helps you mind map as well too. There's a lot of mind mapping tools out there. The reason why I like Coggle.it is because I can access it from any computer. I can access my Google Plus account too. So I have my mind maps, and I have, for example, I want to put my podcasts and all that stuff. So I think it's great. It's very user friendly. It's sort of like the interface is kind of like Prezi. You can just add or subtract or customize and all that. And it's very like click and point and drag and all that. So it's fun, it's easy, it's colorful, it's free. Coggle, drop mic. Any questions? Yes.
Do any of the mind mapping apps that you know of automatically make lists from that? Like, so you make that up and then you can do a checklist from it?
No. But you could easily just. Yeah, that's a very good question. Is there one?
There is one, but it's not online.
It's online. Which one is it?
It's called Inspiration.
Inspiration.
And they had it through a lot of post-secondaries where you could mind map and then it would convert it into a list form.
That's very Inspiration. Video recorders, note to self. Steven wants to look up Inspiration. Actually, can I put it on? That's a good one. That's cool. Because then you can extrapolate the data from your mind map into more practical use. Inspiration, Coggle, MindNode. Yes, next question.
Is it always going to look like that? It has to have branches? Like, because I've done mind mapping with different...
Like circles
or different...
It's very branch heavy, but like you can make it thicker, smaller, and all that stuff. It's mostly just like, yeah, you have your one idea, and then it has the stems or the branches from it. There are a lot of I think if you're a mind mapper, seriously, just take a moment to Google like mind mapping tools, and there's a slew of them out there. There's a program from the inventor of the mind map, and he's got one out there too. It's not free. I just like it once again because it's free. Everyone mind maps differently too. Like some people like to draw circles or clouds or everything like that. So this is just a great starter point. But that's a good question. Inspiration, do you know if Inspiration allows you to create different shapes?
I don't know the revised version of it, so I don't know. It does, but...
Do you have a thing?
Nope.
No?
I use paper.
Paper? What's paper?
Paper.
You mean that app from Facebook?
I use dead trees.
I use dead trees. That's the thing too, but it's cool. I like it. Paper mind maps are awesome too. I just like that because it's accessible, like I say, on every system. So I'm like, oh, let me show you this mind map. You can print it off. You can show it to people to actually let them know you've been thinking of something and not just drawing pictures. Was there a question over there? Yes.
Is there any app that you create on paper or on a board or something and then take a picture and then it converts to something?
Maybe.
I like that.
What is the simplest thing? I don't know if you can scan it and then you just have a PDF of it. That's easy. I don't know if there's any app or anything right now that allows you to scan it and then extrapolate what you've scanned into tangible data. Nerds out there, you know? I just go straight to town.
I mean, there are things like OCR trace and stuff like that on your scanning, but I don't think there's anything that will actually take your scan and turn that into objects, smart objects that are now interacting with that. And just to let everybody know here, just got word from the big boss, 2 questions per tool, because we got to motor through these things. Just to let you know.
Who's the big boss?
Jackie from Calgary.
She's Whipped and cracked. Next tool.
Idea sketch.
Oh, that's me. Sorry, I should be not tweeting so much. Idea Sketch is actually really similar, and it might be sort of what you were talking about with mapping shapes. This is the same idea you put. For me, it's basically a repository for stupid ideas that I just keep in my pocket so I don't forget anything. But you can make it as a list, and then when you go into it, there's the option to have multiple shapes and lines to connect things and drag them around. So maybe that's a good way to start. I'm really visual, and I don't do well with a lot of text on a page, so I find this to be really effective. And you can go into each thing and drill down on it. So if your idea is like build an OCR app that does whatever, that you can have that as the title, and you can drill down and have a description, and you can color code and use shapes and connect things with lines and different stuff. Any questions?
It says free, but you pay $2.
Well, so on iOS, there's very confusing business model. The free version, I think, limits you to 8, and you can't sync across devices. So I, again, being a baller, paid the $2 and have it on my iPad and my iPhone, and it's really sweet on the iPad.
Okay. So this is why your mint is in the red.
I buy a lot of apps. Yeah. Next.
But once again, with Mint, you can color code it and put app treats.
App treats, exactly.
No question, next tool?
Yep.
Sprout Social. Lori Golson.
Okay, so I'm not an expert on Sprout because I've been using it for, I don't know, 2 months, as long as I've been with the NDP. But it is basically, it's mostly a web app with some iOS and actually I assume Android. I don't have it on my personal device. And this is a paid app. The cheapest plan is $60 a month. I don't know what we have at work, but this is how I monitor our social media accounts. So we have 10 accounts that I monitor through Sprout. That's our Twitter and Facebook. And I don't know if you can actually see it here, but one thing that I really like about Sprout is that you can just plug in all of the keywords that you want to monitor, and it's there in one feed. There's not a million hashtag lists. You know, you don't have your feed and then your replies, you know, like in Hootsuite where there's just like 80 lists. So I find it really user-friendly that way. So we track things like Brian Mason, AB Ledge, and it also allows you, I didn't screenshot it, but there is a place where there's really, really in-depth reports. So you can look at your own analytics, and you can also compare yourself to other Twitter accounts. So you can see how you are doing compared to your competitors on social media. Sorry, finding my notes. So yeah, it's really great if you have multiple people managing multiple accounts. So there's 3 people who have access to this. And so if my supervisor is on there and sees that there's a tweet that needs to be responded to, she can send me a task and say, Lori, please respond to this tweet. And also for business users, this doesn't work in the political spectrum, but you can track your conversions and your leads. And as far as I know, I used to be in social media marketing for a car dealership, and I wish I had known about it then, because this is the first app that I've come across that has that functionality of tracking your leads. I also just like the way it looks and works over Hootsuite. I know probably a lot of people use Hootsuite because, you know, it is only $10 a month. But if you have a lot of users and you like something that is clean and simple, I highly recommend Sprout. You can also track your Google+, you can track Feedly as your RSS reader, you can track LinkedIn, and I would, but we've kind of expanded it, our 10. It also tweets your photos inline, and it attaches your photos to Facebook inline, so it's not like, and Hootsuite doesn't do that, and that is one of my major problems with Hootsuite is I like the inline look. And yeah, and you can also go through and just see your mentions or just see your direct messages or just see your mentions for one account. You can really shrink it down that way. One thing I don't like is that on the mobile apps, it doesn't let you know if you have new notifications or new messages. So I still have the Twitter app installed, so it'll push me those notifications. Is anyone else here? Okay. Any questions?
I don't know, but I'll check it out.
You said you manage 10?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the max?
I don't know what level we have, but I'm capped at 10. I tried to add another one yesterday. I was like, no.
Okay.
You already have too many social media accounts. And it also allows you to use your personal ones within Sprout outside of your business accounts, if you so wish. I don't, because that's scary.
Cool. Next up is another way to track your emails with Boomerang. Tammy?
I'm just going to talk about what's different with Boomerang than Banana Tag.
Not as creepy for start.
No, it's just as creepy. But it does add a normal message that lets the recipient know that you're tracking this email. What I like to use Boomerang for, and this is primarily what I use it for, is when I get an email and I'm too busy to look at it, I will boomerang it away and say, send this back to me 8 hours from now, like when I'm done work or something like that. It just kind of is a way to keep emails kind of at the top of your inbox. Because I know if I look at an email and then I'm like, I could star this, but I have like 500,000 starred emails right now. So clearly this is not a good way to prioritize these things. I'll just boomerang it away so it'll hit my phone again like it's a brand new email when I'm on my commute home or something and I can deal with it. Another thing I do sometimes, I don't do it often because it's kind of douchey, but you can create an email and then say, resend this email if the recipient hasn't opened or read it in, say, 2 hours, right? So if you have something really urgent, you've got to be a douche and just be like, no, you know what? Just keep hitting their inbox with this. I need an answer. And it will just keep resending it to people. So use that power responsibly. Otherwise, you're going to get blocked by your friends. It's free. I don't use the paid version. It's another one of those add-ons for your browser. So I don't know if it works on a mobile. I just have it on my Chrome browser. And I don't know, I quite enjoy it. And as you can see, you can kind of see in the little screenshot, it just adds a little extra thing to your compose message on the web interface that allows you to say, send this again in 2 hours if they haven't opened it or something like that. Did you use it?
Yeah, I use it, but I don't have anything to add, so.
Question. So if it's like, is it removing it from your server and then resending it so the timestamp will change?
Yes.
And if you're resending it to the other person, it's not removing it from their inbox, they'll actually have duplicates of that email.
I don't know about that one. Okay. Sorry, the questions were, if you send the email away to come back to you, does it remove it from the server and change the timestamp? And then the second question was, if you're douchily pestering your friends, does it make duplicates? I'm not too sure about the second one because I had never been on the receiving end of a repeating boomerang. Now that I said it though, it sounds pretty cool. The other one though, I believe it does actually remove it from my inbox and then just sends it again.
I would assume not for the latter because you don't have access to their server once you have it totally.
Exactly. I would think it's either a duplicate or it just I don't know. Oh, okay. So the question is for like Banana Tag and Boomerang, the little 1 pixel by 1 pixel tracking pixel, does it show up as an attachment? I don't know. I haven't been on the receiving end of either one of those so far, I think. No clue about that one.
Yeah. I just have something to share. I used to use Boomerang, and it's worked really well. It's obviously awesome. But one that I found kind of just in the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to share with everyone, it's called Streak. And it's basically all the same functionality that Boomerang has, but what it allows you to do is take any email that you get and you put it into like a CRM plugin straight in the Gmail app. And then you get to customize your streak, your pipeline to basically suit any sort of situation, whether you're doing sales or hiring or fundraising or planning an event or planning a wedding. And then you get to move individual records through each individual pipeline, so you can sort it by pipeline, and then you get to sort it by what stage of the pipeline it's in. And it doesn't have a limit, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Cool. So what somebody in the audience has suggested here is a service called Streak, which allows you to funnel your emails into pipelines, and those pipelines have different purposes. And
it has all this too in terms of with like the red receipts and those.
Excellent. And it has read receipts, it has the sending away capability, that sort of thing?
I don't use it for that, so maybe I'm still using the link for that part of it, but I just like to share it.
Okay. So Streak. Streak is the thing to look for. It's the next best thing.
Are you the CEO of Streak.com? Street team.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Like the street.
This app's for the nerds out there and the collectors. Does anybody here collect anything? Comics, movies, video games? Pardon?
Old clothing.
Old clothing, videos, stuff like that. Okay, no one? Well, we'll go really short and simple. What I really like, this app's called CLZ Comics. It allows you to track and categorize your collectible items by A, either scanning the barcode, or B, inputting it. So what I've done is I have a comic book. I've started to collect comic books again. Single issues, trade paperbacks, all that stuff. So what I've actually been able to do, and it took a little bit of time to log them, is I've cataloged all my comic books. My collection is about 300. So now I know exactly what comic books I have, and what the app also allows you to do, and I can show you, I can hear people muttering because they're like, comics boring. I can show you too, but it's got like all the covers of every comic books. What you can also do is create a wish list. So I'm like, oh, I'm missing the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12, or if I have like an issue that's really near and dear to my heart, like Spawn number 77. I don't collect Spawn anymore, but I really like that comic book cover. I can put a wish list on, bring my app either on my smartphone or my iPad, go to a nerd show or go to a comic book store, find it, check it off my list, add some other stuff. So it's just a really good way to manage your comic books. Or any sort of things you can collect. Like even for video games and movies and that, you can log your video games or movies. I know people with shelves and shelves and shelves of DVDs, and they want a way to track them. So what you can also do is you can create folders and you can be like loaned out. So if you loan a movie out to somebody, you can be like, so-and-so took this, so-and-so took that. And you can actually have it in your little iPad. So it's really nerdy. I feel bad for bringing it up because you guys are like, I want something practical, and you just talk to comic books for an hour. I'm going to beat you up for your lunch money. You have a question, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat you up.
That's okay. What's your question? Can I have your lunch money? Because the answer is no.
No.
Okay.
Would it be suitable for hockey cards?
Hockey cards? Let me look at CLZ. So far they don't have hockey cards. You might, but collectors.com, it allows you to do movies, books, music, comics, and games right now. But there may be an app out there. I'll look into that for like hockey cards and something like that too. So everyone has a collection of something. It's always good to log it and track it. And we're gonna move on to the next tool. Oh, you have a tool? Yay!
I have no
question. Sorry. Take two.
Can you share your wish list?
Can you share your wish list?
Like, I feel like it would be more, say, like, if this was for my significant other, I would want to know what comics he wants.
Yeah.
So as to buy presents.
Question. Let me look into that and I'll get back to you. That's very clever. I think you can upload your collection to the cloud. So if you want to access it off other devices, so there's maybe a way you can just upload a particular section, i.e. the wish list, to the cloud so you can share it. So let me get back to you on that one. But thank you for being cool, everybody. Next question. Next tool. Tumblr Savior! Oh, who's
could this be? This one might be mine. Okay, just to be really quick about this one. Tumblr Savior is a extension for Chrome and Firefox and Opera and Safari. You obviously have to use it on your desktop or laptop computer. There's no mobile equivalent. And what I use this for is avoiding spoilers. Your dash is just like a big list of everybody you follow and everything they've posted. Lots of people live blog their favorite television shows, and lots of people will be blogging about them after it's aired, with the attitude that if you didn't watch it when it aired, tough titties for you. This is how I learned about the Red Wedding episode for Game of Thrones. I don't even watch that show, and I know everything about that episode. So on days when I can't catch Hannibal or Sherlock or something when it airs, you know, Teen Wolf, which by the way is a totally underrated show. I I just go to my Tumblr Savior and I pop the names of those shows in my blacklist. And what happens is when I'm going through my dash, instead of seeing that post, I just see a little line of text saying, this user has mentioned the keyword Teen Wolf. Would you like to view it? Click to show. Another use for it is for phobias. One of my friends is deathly afraid of spiders, and she's like, please tag your spiders. And I'm like, please use Tumblr Savior too then. And she's like, yes, I do. That's why I need you to tag it. So like on Tumblr, lots of people just post pictures. If they don't tag them properly, Tumblr Savior obviously can't pick that up. But it will look at the text content of a post and your tags, and if it's on your blacklist, it will bring it down to that little one line and say, this post contains this keyword, do you want to see it? It's actually saved me, well, I won't say like saved me, it's not like a tragedy if I get spoiled or something, but you know, it's made television watching enjoyable for me when I have to DVR stuff and I can't watch it right away. That's it. Yes?
Is there anything for Twitter like that?
I don't know if there's anything for Twitter. Twitter blacklisting, you have to Google that one. I've never tried it before because for me, Twitter is just an open flow of information. I've never tried to block that one. And I find it easier to avoid, this is gonna sound horrible, but I find it easier to avoid Twitter for a couple days than it is to avoid Tumblr, because I'm always on Tumblr. Whatever. Judge me how you like. Yes, exactly.
Tweetbot for iOS allows you to block keywords on Twitter.
Peter says that Tweetbot for iOS allows you to block keywords on Twitter. So there's probably all sorts of blocking things built into your Twitter apps already, but I don't use them. No other questions? Nobody else uses Tumblr? That's good.
Jelly! I don't think you're ready for this jelly, or are you?
Has anybody tried Jelly?
What is it?
So it's a new startup from BizStone. I don't know if it's a startup, it seems fairly big, but I just read BizStone's book and it's awesome and you should get it. I didn't think I would like it, but it was brilliant. And this is his new thing, and it's built on the idea that if we integrate empathy into people's day, every day will become a kinder society. So basically it's cards that you flip through, you can't go backwards, and it's just people asking questions. And what's cool about it is it's sort of a human search engine. So like if you see a guy in a movie and you're like, who is this guy? It's hard to Google who is this guy. So take a picture of it, put it on Jelly, and somebody will have an answer for you. If someone answers your question, you can send them thank you cards, and I'm not exaggerating, I can spend like hours on this, looking for things that I have an answer to, and then all day you'll get pings to your questions, and you'll be happy and feel like a good person because you helped somebody else out. It's jelly.co, and it's really awesome. It's only on mobile devices. There is no desktop interface for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. You'll fall into a wormhole. I warned you.
But a wormhole of fuzzies.
Yes, that's exactly.
A wormhole of warm and fuzzies. I like that. I'm downloading it right now.
Yeah. Let me know what you think.
Any questions about jelly? Great way to help people. Great way to also get help. So.
Sweet. I'll be using it.
Well, it's also learning.
Yes. Yeah.
And sharing information. It's like a warm hug for your iPhone.
In your phone.
Jelly.co. It's only on, I think, smartphones, because I tried to get it on my iPad and it doesn't let me. So, next up, Google Now.
Okay, does anyone, whoever made this screenshot is a liar. I don't, is this on iOS, Google Now?
Yeah, let's look it up.
Oh, okay. Well then I apologize to whoever I just called a liar. Never mind. And I was gonna
you're a liar. Just kidding.
And I was gonna go on a rant about like this is why Android is awesome and suck at iPhone. So damn. Anyway, I love you all. And Google Now is basically my personal assistant. Because it's tied with Google, it tracks what you're interested in, what's in your Google Calendar, what you've been looking up. So you can see from my screenshots that it was letting me know that I had to leave shortly to go to my knitting class when I screenshotted this. Or not my class, my group, my stitch and bitch with some tea. It also, you laugh, it's awesome. Won't be laughing when I'm wearing my warm sweaters.
Next year.
It also, tomorrow in Alberta, it also noticed that I was looking up information about Drumheller. And it also gives me the weather, which is nice. And it also tracks what you've been Googling a lot of. So I will go into my Google now and it'll be like, oh, there's news about Call the Midwife, or there's news about the Nexus 8 tablet that's coming out this summer and I can't wait to buy. And I really like it for the whole, like, it's time to leave for this, because I'm totally a person who I'm just like, oh, shit, I gotta leave the house in 5 minutes. So it gives you that notification that, you know, might want to go get your button gear. Do you use it?
No, but now I'm thinking I should.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's something that I didn't really seek out because it was just on my phone because I have an Android phone. Yeah, I really, oh, and it tracks places that you go to. That's something else that's nice. So every morning I look up on my phone and it says, because I take the bus to work, it says, you know, my local bus stop and when the buses are coming and how long it'll take me to get to work, or, you know, like I go to Bonnie Doon Mall all the time because it's my local mall, so it'll tell me how long the traffic is to get there and stuff like that. So if you often go to places, it'll remember and it'll ask you, do you want to remember the travel time to this place? Any questions?
Not a question about that, just a comment. They also do your flights as well?
Yes.
They have itinerary. They'll look at, you know, when you're flying, what terminal you need to go to, and they also give you weather for that city as well. It's kind of really neat.
Yes, so the comment was that it'll track your flight itinerary and then also the weather of this and the time of the city you're traveling to, which is really convenient, obviously.
Just another comment, when you travel, it'll pop up and tell you interesting places nearby where you are to go see and take pictures.
Oh, and apparently there's also a bit of a tourism aspect to it. Will tell you nearby, you know, attractions. Thank you. Words, not my forte.
Does it connect to your Trello?
I don't think it connects to Trello, no.
Okay, next one.
Oh, what's up? I wrote it down actually. Let's see what it says here. Look, other hand. Oops. Oh, someone got it. Didn't write it down this time. My bad.
Put up I had
so this is similar to.
Do you have a question?
Like MapQuest-ish.
It's more like Jarvis from Iron Man.
What's Iron Man? Google it. Next tool. No, it's like Siri, but British, sassy. Lucid Chart next.
Okay, Lucid Chart is essentially Visio online. It's one of the only online tools that will import and export Visio files. If you don't know what Visio is used for, diagrams, that's the word. I'm getting old. It's used for drawing diagrams. If you're like me, a programmer, I use it to make flowcharts all the time. I'll use it for entity relationship diagrams, blur, 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 blur. But even people who aren't programmers can find a lot of use out of diagramming tools. It's free for use. However, there is a limit on the number of objects you can have on a screen. So I think the limit is like 65, right? So usually I kind of cheat and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, there's like 50 objects on here and now there is a link off screen to the next diagram that I'm making. But it's actually not that expensive. It's $3.33 American a month, I believe. And it's a really powerful tool and I've used it on some really big projects actually. And it exports, like I said, to Visio. I usually just download a PDF and send that along because everybody can see a PDF. And if you want to collaborate, I haven't done collaboration on these yet, but the really cool thing about it that I just discovered this past week is it integrates with Google Apps. So our company has switched over to Google and we are looking at getting a team registration with Lucid Charts. And then what happens is when you go to your Google Apps and you go create new, it'll say create new Lucid Chart right there. And you can save them to your drive and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. And like I said, I use it all the time and I really like it. Any questions? No, it's really obvious. It's a diagram making tool, and you go check it out.
Bam. Kindle.
Oh, this is me. Oh, this is, or it is no. Yours. I'm gonna fight you on Kindle. I don't like Kindle.
Do you have the? Okay, so I can only vouch for the iOS app. and I'm comparing it to like Kobo and iBook and stuff. The single most valuable thing to me about the Kindle app is the way that it indexes all the stuff you've highlighted, because I'm a big scribbler, note-taker, highlighter in books, and you can see on the screen cap there that when I write blog posts or whatever else I'm writing, I can scroll very easily through and get my list of everything that I highlighted. That is my reason for selecting the Kindle app.
Okay, that's fair. I like Kobo because it gives me badges when I achieve stuff.
See?
That's Kobo.
Yeah.
People like, see, gamification's like the future of everything. Badges and levels and all that fun jazz. So.
But that's it. That's all I got for Kindle.
Any people here use Kindle?
I actually have a first generation Kindle device that still works perfectly fine. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Yeah, I quite like that. And then on my iPad, I have the Kindle app on my iPad.
Yeah.
But I didn't bother putting it on my phone because my phone has the internet. Really? Yeah. So I'm usually reading articles on my phone.
So, because we're almost out of time, we will stop at tool number 16. Wah, wah, wah. However, if you go on our website, SMBYEG.ca.
There must be a better one than my 16, though.
Pardon?
I said there must be a better one than the number 16.
Sweet 16. Okay, then we'll keep on going until someone goes, ooh, I really want to talk to that one.
Yeah.
But SMBYEG.ca will have a full list of all the tools too. So you have your notes, but also be like, what was that tool that Josh talked about comics? See outside comics. So we don't want to talk about Clean Master?
I think we need to talk about that one.
Photocracy. Let's settle at photography.
I've heard of it.
Photocracy. It allows you to gamify your workout. Everyone here has a mission to sometimes get back into shape. Photocracy allows you to make a game out of it. And who better to talk about photocracy than our resident geek gamer who likes to gamify everything, Tammy?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because you picked it.
Don't you have it too?
Yeah, I do, but you can go in there.
Okay. As I've already mentioned, I like lists, I like gamification, I like motivations other than what I find deep inside my shriveled soul. So I joined Photocracy because it's really cool. And I had a lot of friends who were doing it, and they're like, hey, come on, why don't you work out with us? And I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to go to a gym. And I'm like, just sign up for Photocracy. So I did. So there's fitness quests, and sometimes your fitness quest will be like, do 15 kettlebell pulls, and then you get a badge, and it's like, woo, I'm awesome. And every time you do a workout, it gets posted to your timeline with what exactly you did and how many points it was worth. And then all your friends can give you props. And there's little fist bump icons. It's like, good job, bro. Yeah, props, right? So that's kind of fun. And it's kind of like Facebook fitness gamified, because you've got this timeline that you can post things to and be like, hey guys, I feel really demotivated today, so I ate a churro. And then people will be like, that's cool, you'll be back online tomorrow, and like really encourage you and stuff. Most of my friends, I took that 3-month hiatus, right? So now my friends are all like level 27. I can't even catch these people anymore because they run every day, and running's major mad points, so I have to like lift extra weights or something. I don't know. Try to gamify my walk to work in the morning. But it was fun for a while there. We were all kind of starting at the same level, and I'd be like, oh no, she got level 5. I have to do an extra workout today because I'm only 70 points away. You know, it was a really good motivator to get me going. They also have a list of exercises. Just about every exercise you can think of is in there. Their challenges and quests are a really good way to get you to try exercises you wouldn't normally do. For example, I needed a really easy quest just to bump me up those extra points to the next level. So I wound up doing this weighted barbell thing that I'd never done before, and I went and looked up some YouTube videos on how to do it, and it was really kind of fun. And they also have I just finished 2 months with a trainer in New York City through Photocracy. It was $45 a month, and there was a group of about 80 of us, and we used Google Hangouts and Google Apps to coordinate everybody, to give us our homework every week. We had to mark down what we ate on Google spreadsheets and send those to him, and he'd come back at you with some information about your plan and what you could be doing. So it was really kind of an interesting and accessible way to get to a personal trainer and do a course or something like that where I didn't actually have to go to a room with a bunch of people because, no offense to you guys, but I'm kind of an introvert. I know you can't tell, but when I work out, there has to be complete privacy, preferably complete darkness, and no mirrors, right? Like, I like to exercise in a vacuum. So this was really nice for that. And they're always offering new courses and new challenges for people. And it's, I don't know, I really liked it. Now that I'm only level 17 and my friends are all in the 20s, I'm like, but I know that I'll hit it this summer and maybe I'll sabotage them by, oh no, it's cool, you should just take a break. Look how far ahead you are, man. You can totally slack off for a month and then I'll catch up with them.
I'll meet you at the buffet.
Or just bring them donuts. Yeah, exactly.
What's great about photocracy and a bunch of these other fitness-minded apps is it helps build an online community of people with the same common goal. When you need that extra push to finish a workout or complete a workout, some people like to go online. Specifically, the more introverted. They don't want to go to a big World Health Club and go work out. They find those places really, really intimidating. They'd rather have their own space in their home or in their small personal gym, have their exercises all lined out like photocracy does, and also send people private messages. You can gamify, you can go on Google Hangouts, you can all do a group workout within the confines of your own little bubble. So that's photocracy. There's a few other tools we can make too. But stay tuned on our website. We will have a little blurb about each and every one of them, as well as the links and all that stuff, so you can access them if you can't read your own writing. So thank you, one and all, for coming to Social Media Breakfast number 33. There are probably a few muffins left. Maybe you can top off that.